It's been 2 weeks since my birthday, which my father didn't even remember, when suddenly he calls and declares, "We're flying with your sister to the Bahamas for her birthday. Her ticket is already bought. Yours is too. Just wire $1,700 today." I asked, "Wait, am I even invited?" He exploded, "No. But if you don't pay, you can forget about your family." I replied, "Fine. I'll save you the effort." That same night, I did something they never expected. Now it's all falling apart. The calls, the please, please, please. Dad's on the ground. "You've ruined her party. We were wrong. Just take it all back." I'm not even sure why I'm writing this. Maybe it's just to get it out of my system. Maybe someone out there will read it and tell me I'm not crazy for feeling the way I do. Either way, it's 2:14 a.m. and I can't sleep. My hands are still a little shaky, which is pathetic, I know. But it is what it is. Let's just get into it. My name's Marcus. I'm 24. Don't call me Mark. Please. I'm in that weird in-between stage of adulthood where you technically live on your own, but somehow your family still expects you to act like their personal problem solver. It's like I'm independent when it's convenient for them, and part of the family when there's a bill to pay or someone needs a ride at 3 a.m. Growing up, my family always had this unspoken rule. I handle things. Doesn't matter what it is. A broken appliance, a missed payment, someone's dog puked on the carpet. If something needs fixing or covering, it falls to me. No one said it out loud, but the vibe was clear. Marcus takes care of it. My younger sister Kayla, she's 21 now. She's the golden child, the princess, the one who just needs a little more time to find herself. She can do no wrong. Always has been that way. My mom, Rachel, plays peacemaker to a fault. She'll smile through a tornado just to avoid confrontation. And my dad, Leon, well, he's more like a guest star in the family sitcom. Shows up when it's convenient, drops some cash, acts like the hero, and then disappears when anything gets hard. Except with me. With me, he's all about responsibility and stepping up and being a man. So anyway, 2 weeks ago was my birthday. I'm not the kind of person who throws a party or expects a whole thing. I don't need cake or balloons. I didn't even make any big plans this year. But, you still kind of expect something. A call, a text, a dumb meme in the family group chat. What I got was nothing. Literally nothing. Not even a thumbs up emoji or a late night, "Oh shoot, happy birthday," from my sister. And this is the same Kayla who posts inspirational quotes about how much family means to her every other day. She'll film a TikTok about the importance of siblings but won't take 5 seconds to text me on my birthday. I tried to shrug it off. Told myself they were busy, that maybe they forgot. It's not a big deal, right? But then the next day, I was scrolling through Instagram while waiting for my food to heat up, and there it was. A photo dump from a fancy seafood place across town. Kayla, my mom, my dad. Big grins, cocktails, appetizers, the whole 9 yards. The caption? "Family night at Seabreeze. Blue heart, blue heart." That part really hit me. Not even a casual "wish Marcus was here" in the tags. Nothing. It was like I'd vanished off the face of the earth. I didn't say anything. I mean, what was I supposed to do? Text the group chat and say, "Cool dinner? Thanks for the invite?" I figured I'd just let it go. Pretend it didn't bug me. But it did. Obviously. What made it worse was how completely normal they acted after. Like nothing had happened. My mom sent a GIF in the group chat the next day. Some dumb thing about coffee and Mondays. Kayla posted a story about her nails. My dad didn't reach out at all. Fast forward to tonight. Or technically last night, I guess. I was home alone, just unwinding. Playing some online matches, eating leftover lasagna straight from the container, the usual. Around 9:30 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was Dad. Now, you need to understand something. My dad and I don't talk much. Not unless something's broken or he wants to complain about his coworkers. So when I saw his name light up on my screen, I hesitated before answering. I thought maybe it was something serious. It was, just not in the way I expected. I answer and he skips all pleasantries. No, "Hey, how's work?" Or "How've you been?" Just jumps straight into it like he's running a meeting. He says, "We're booking the trip for Kayla's birthday. Her flight's done. We already got the resort. I'm gonna need you to send $1,800. Preferably tonight. I blinked. I literally stared at my TV for a second, trying to figure out if I'd heard that right. I go, "Wait, what?" And he says it again like it's no big deal. "Kayla's birthday trip. You're covering her ticket. We've already paid our share." I ask, "Am I even invited?" He doesn't miss a beat. "No, you're not." I laugh because, come on. It has to be a joke, right? But no, he's dead serious. His tone doesn't change. He adds, "But you're paying for your sister's trip. That's just how it is. And if you don't expect to hear from this family again." I swear to God, that's what he said. Word for word. I was frozen. Not angry, not hurt, just stunned. I couldn't even process it fast enough to get emotional. I said, "So let me get this straight. I didn't even get a text on my birthday. You all went out to dinner without me. And now I'm supposed to drop almost $2,000 for a vacation I'm not even invited to? And if I don't, I'm basically being disowned." He just said, "You know how this works, Marcus. You always help out." And that's the part that got me. Because it's true. When Kayla crashed her car last year, I covered the deductible. When my dad lost his wallet in Vegas, I sent him money so they wouldn't be stuck. When the Wi-Fi got cut off because the autopay failed, guess who called and paid it so Kayla wouldn't miss her online class? Me. And not once have I ever been paid back. Not even a thank you half the time. But this wasn't even pretending to be about helping out. This was blackmail. I told him, "You know what? Don't worry about it. Let me save you the trouble." And I hung up. He didn't even say goodbye. Just hung up right after. I sat there, holding my phone like it might burn through my hand. For a minute, I thought maybe I imagined the whole thing. That I'd wake up and it'd be a weird dream. Then I opened the family group chat. Nothing. Just memes and jokes. Still no mention of my birthday. Still no mention of this trip. But now that I was paying attention, I noticed something. Over the last few weeks, there'd been these vague comments, "Can't wait for sun and sand, and only X more days." I just thought they were talking about summer plans. But now I realize they were all talking about this trip. Planning it. Getting excited. And not once was I even mentioned. Not once. It was like I didn't exist unless someone needed a financial favor. That's when it clicked for me. People say you should have seen it coming. And maybe they're right. I've always been the default option. The one who steps up. Kayla's the favorite. The cute one. The one who cries and gets rescued. I'm just the guy with a debit card and enough guilt to make me say yes. I started thinking about all the times growing up when my dad would say, "You're the older one. You need to take care of your sister." Like that was some kind of life sentence. If she broke something? My fault because I should have watched her better. He never raised a hand to us, but damn, he knew how to make you feel like absolute garbage if you didn't do exactly what he wanted. And now? Now I'm just the guy who's supposed to pay for a tropical vacation I'm not even invited to. That night, tonight, something in me snapped. It's not even about the money anymore. It's the disrespect. The erasure. The way I've been shoved into this box and expected to smile and stay there. I wish I could say I did something noble, walked away with dignity or whatever. But that's not what happened. What happened is, I got angry. Quietly, slowly, coldly angry. I started scrolling through my phone, pulling up every Venmo and Cash App transaction. Every Zelle. Every time I bailed them out covered a meal, paid a bill. And it's a long list. A long, expensive list. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. But I know this, I'm not just letting it slide this time. I'm done being the ATM. Done being the afterthought. Done being the family's financial punching bag. If they want to find out what happens when I stop playing along, they're about to. I've got a few ideas. And I'm not bluffing. I woke up the next morning feeling like I hadn't slept at all. You know that kind of exhaustion where your brain's buzzing, but your body feels like concrete? That was me. I just sat there in my kitchen, staring at my coffee like it had answers. Spoiler, it didn't. The whole conversation from last night kept looping in my head. The tone in my dad's voice. Cold, transactional, like he was talking to some underperforming employee. Not a son. Not even a human being. And the more I thought about it, the more this weird calm settled over me. Not sadness. Not rage. Just tired. Like, bone-deep tired. But I wasn't about to let it go this time. I said I had ideas, I wasn't bluffing. So I opened my phone, sat down at my desk, and started digging. Venmo, Cash App, my bank app, screenshots. emails, old texts. Every time I'd bailed them out, no matter how small, I logged it. That $60 I sent Kayla for some online emergency 2 years ago? Found it. The $300 I wired Mom when the power company was being unfair again? Logged. The time I paid off Kayla's phone bill so she wouldn't lose her number? Got the receipt. I even found a text from Dad asking me to cover a late fee on the family's internet, just for now. There were dozens of them. By noon, I had a whole spreadsheet going. Amounts, dates, who asked, why. I even made notes next to each one. Never paid back. No thanks given. Said it was just a loan. Never mentioned again. Seeing it all laid out like that. Honestly, it pissed me off even more. It wasn't just the money. It was the pattern. The expectation. The way I'd been trained to say yes before I even questioned it. The way they never hesitated to ask, but couldn't bother to acknowledge my existence unless they needed something. While I was working on all this, my phone kept buzzing. First, it was my mom. Can you please just send the money? Kayla's counting on this. I didn't respond. Then Dad. This time more aggressive. You have until tonight. If you don't wire the money, don't expect to be part of this family anymore. I just stared at that one. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. I wanted to reply something clever, something that would make him feel even a fraction of what I was feeling. But I didn't. I left it on read. Then Kayla texted. A wall of crying emojis. You're ruining my birthday. This is supposed to be once in a lifetime. I already posted about it. People are asking. You're making me look stupid. That last line got to me. Not because she was sad, but because it wasn't about me. It wasn't even about family. It was about her followers. So I replied, why didn't you say happy birthday to me? Took her 5 minutes to answer. You know I'm bad with dates, lol. That was it. No apology. Just a shrug in text form. Like forgetting your brother's birthday is just one of those silly little personality quirks. So I decided it was time for them to get a little reminder of how much I'd done. I took screenshots of the spreadsheet and sent them to the family group chat. No caption. Just straight-up documentation. Every dollar. Every favor. 5 minutes later, Dad left the group. Then Mom called. I didn't answer. Around 1 p.m., I hear a car door slam outside. I peek through the blinds. It's Dad. Of course it is. He marches up to the door like he's got something to prove. I open it just a crack. Marcus, he says, already raising his voice. We need to talk. You're making this harder than it has to be. I tell him, we're not doing this. I'm not paying for Kayla's trip. And I'm definitely not going to apologize for not being your personal bank. He tries to push past me into my apartment. I block the doorway. He actually lunges like he's going to slap the phone out of my hand. But I step back and he ends up hitting the wall with his palm. He curses under his breath, glares at me, then storms off. Slams the door so hard behind him that a picture frame rattled. I locked the door, sat back down, and just breathed for a second. Then my phone buzzed again, bank alert. Someone had just tried to use one of my backup cards to book a flight. The same backup card I let Mom use in an emergency last year. Never got it back. I froze the card on the spot, called the bank, reported it as unauthorized. That card is dead now. Just like whatever illusion I had that this family gave a damn. Now I wasn't just tired or pissed off. I was on a mission. I opened my laptop again and started drafting a long email. I attached the spreadsheet. I included screenshots of texts, receipts, transaction IDs. I wrote a short message. If anyone wants to call me ungrateful, feel free. But maybe check who's been paying your bills for the last 3 years. I'm not your wallet. Figure it out. And I CC'd everyone. The aunts, the uncles, the cousins who only ever talk to me at Thanksgiving. Even the family friends who love to give speeches about loyalty and blood is thicker than water. I hit send. Then I turned off my phone and made a sandwich. I wasn't scared. I wasn't nervous. I was done. I thought maybe, just maybe, that email would shut everyone up. Or at least make them take a minute and look in the mirror. Instead, it was like I'd lit a fuse. My phone blew up within the hour. Missed calls from mom, texts from cousins I haven't talked to in years, even a Facebook message from Aunt Linda who lives 2 states away and only ever posts about Bible verses and her cats. The subject line of the email was simple. Let's talk about who's really been helping. The body? Even simpler. I'm not your wallet. I'm not your safety net. I'm your son, your brother, and I'm done being used. Attached, my spreadsheet. Screenshots. Payment history. Timestamps. The evidence was so clear it might as well have come with a courtroom narrator. Mom was first to respond. She didn't even try to argue the facts, she just sent this long, rambling text about how I was making things harder than they need to be and that Kayla is devastated. Then she threw in, your father hasn't left the bedroom since you sent that. He won't eat. He won't talk. I just stared at the message. So now it's my fault Dad is hiding in his room like a sulking teenager? Right? Then Kayla chimed in. All caps text. WTF Marcus. Why would you humiliate me like that? You literally ruined my life. Apparently, her Instagram followers were asking why she hadn't left for her birthday trip yet. The countdown story she'd posted was still live. People were commenting. She was embarrassed. I sat on the couch and laughed. Not because it was funny, but because of the absurdity. Like, that was her concern? That she looked dumb online? Not the fact that they tried to emotionally blackmail me. Not the fact that they tried to steal from me. Just that the story didn't match the aesthetic. At that point, I figured it couldn't get worse. I was wrong. About an hour later, someone knocked on my door. I checked the peephole. Kayla. Hair in a messy bun, sunglasses on even though it wasn't sunny, phone in hand. I opened the door halfway. She didn't say hi. She just shoved past me and walked in like she owned the place. I'm not leaving until you fix this, she said, pacing the room like she was rehearsing a monologue. I told her to calm down. She didn't. You made me look pathetic, she shouted. I had plans. You know how hard I worked to organize this. I blinked. You mean how hard Mom and Dad worked? Or how hard I was supposed to work by footing the bill? She stopped pacing. Her face twisted like I'd slapped her. You're jealous, she said. You've always been jealous of me. I actually laughed out loud. Jealous of what, Kayla? Being ignored? Being used? Or being the favorite with a credit line that isn't even yours? She tried to grab my phone off the table. I stepped in front of her. Don't, I said. I'm serious. She hit my arm, not hard, but more than just a tap. Reflex. Frustration. That was it. Get out, I said. She hesitated. Get out. She stormed toward the door, muttering something about how this family is toxic, which was rich considering the last 2 decades. She slammed the door so hard behind her it shook the wall. I sat back down. My hands were shaking again, but not from fear. From adrenaline. Then I did something I probably should have done a long time ago. I posted the spreadsheet in the family Facebook group. Yep, that same group where people share baby pictures, casserole recipes, and generic Happy Easter posts. I uploaded the spreadsheet and added a caption. Since people are confused about who's really been carrying the load, here's some clarity. I won't be paying for anyone's vacation, phone bill, Uber, or crisis anymore. And if anyone tries to use my cards again, I will treat it like theft. Because that's what it is. I tagged everyone. Uncles, aunts, cousins, even the quiet ones who always pretend they stay out of drama. Then I muted the group. Phone. Exploded. I got texts like, wow, that was extreme. Couldn't this have been handled privately? This is so embarrassing for your parents. Kayla's crying again. You happy? But you know what? I was kind of happy. Not because they were upset, I don't want to hurt anyone, but because for once I wasn't backing down. Mom showed up that evening. Same knock. Same tone. Same routine. I opened the door and didn't let her in. She stood there on the front step looking tired and anxious. Her mascara was smudged like she'd been crying. Can we just talk? She asked. As long as you don't yell. She nodded. Then immediately started in with the guilt trip. Your father hasn't eaten all day. He's not sleeping. Kayla's a mess. You've really torn the family apart. I said as calmly as I could. No, Mom. I just stopped letting you tear me apart. She flinched at that. Like the truth physically hurt. Then came the real kicker. Why can't you just let it go? I wanted to scream. Instead, I said, because nobody else ever does. When it's me, I'm expected to handle it. When it's Kayla, the world stops until she feels okay. This isn't about a trip. It's about 24 years of being the backup plan. She didn't reply. She just sighed, turned, and slammed the door behind her. Again. It's funny how much people care about doors after they close them. Later that night, Kayla texted me a screenshot of her bank account. It showed $13.84 and a crying emoji. I replied, "Maybe don't treat people like ATMs and you wouldn't be broke." She blocked me. No surprise there. I checked the family group chat. It had turned into a war zone. People arguing, taking sides, pretending to stay neutral. My uncle, who hadn't texted me since high school graduation, wrote, "You didn't have to go nuclear. But here's the thing. They made the rules. I just finally started playing by them." I thought the worst of it was over. After the spreadsheet, the texts, the screaming matches and slammed doors, I figured we'd hit the breaking point. Everyone would stew in silence for a few weeks, block each other online, and maybe, just maybe, things would slowly fade into the background. I underestimated just how deep the dysfunction ran. The next morning, my phone started buzzing before my alarm. And I don't mean one or two texts. I'm talking dozens of notifications. Messages from unknown numbers, calls from relatives I didn't even realize still had my number, emails, DMs. Felt like I'd gone viral, but for all the wrong reasons. The first real clue that something had shifted came from my cousin Reese, who only ever texts about fantasy football. "Bro, what the hell did you do?" My mom woke me up crying at 6 a.m. Then came the group chat. Not the usual family group, this one had everyone. Second cousins, great aunts, family friends I haven't seen since my 6th grade play. Someone renamed it Family Unity Chat. It was like watching a live grenade roll into a room full of fireworks. My grandma was in there trying to keep it together. "Everyone needs to calm down. This is still family. No more public posts. We don't air our laundry like this." My Aunt Lisa fired back. "Easy for you to say when your kid isn't being dragged online." My cousin Barrett, clearly done with it all, just kept replying with SpongeBob memes like he was commentating the whole meltdown. Then came the guilt parade. "Mom, your father still hasn't come out of the bedroom. He's not eating. He's not talking. We're worried." "Dad, no texts, but 3 missed calls." Then a voicemail I wish I hadn't listened to. His voice was raw, like he'd been yelling or crying or both. He said I was killing him with stress, that I was tearing the family apart, that he'd never seen Mom this heartbroken. I didn't respond. Then came Kayla again. Long, breathy voicemail where she sobbed the whole time. Accused me of ruining her birthday. Said she was getting DM'd by friends asking why she wasn't in the Bahamas, and that I'd publicly disowned her. I deleted it halfway through. Because here's the thing. For the first time in years, I didn't feel guilty. I felt relieved. Like I could finally breathe without holding in every ounce of frustration. Every little moment of being overlooked. Every time I'd swallowed something just to keep the peace. But of course, peace wasn't on the table for long. That afternoon, I got another fraud alert from my bank. Someone had tried using my backup card again. Same one I thought I'd canceled. This time it was for a hotel deposit. A hotel, not even a flight, they weren't even pretending anymore. I called the bank, had the card permanently shut down, and flagged it for fraud. They asked if I wanted to pursue charges. I said not yet. Then I sent a text to my mom. "If anyone tries using my cards again, I'll treat it as theft." No more warnings. No reply. Instead, about 2 hours later, Kayla showed up at my apartment again. This time she didn't yell. She cried. Hard. Sat on my couch. Knees pulled up to her chest like she was 5 again. Sobbing about how her life was falling apart. That I had humiliated her. That people were unfollowing her. That she couldn't even post anything anymore without getting hate. I listened. I really did. But I didn't comfort her. I told her as gently as I could. This is what happens when you use people. Sooner or later, they stop letting you. She got up without saying a word, walked to the door, and left. About 10 minutes later, I got a notification that she blocked me. Instagram, Snapchat, even Venmo, like I was the problem. Whatever. Later that night, there was another knock. This time it was Dad. He looked rough, unshaven, eyes red, voice hoarse. He didn't say hi, just walked up and said, "Money isn't everything, Marcus. Family is what matters." I leaned against the doorframe. "Then maybe you should have treated me like family." I said. Instead of a bank account. He stared at me for a long moment, then tried to walk inside. I blocked the door with my arm. I'm not doing this, I said. He exploded. You're being selfish, vindictive. After everything we've done for you, this is how you repay us. I just looked at him. You mean after everything I've done for you? He didn't answer. He turned around, slammed the door behind him, again, and peeled out of the driveway like he was trying to prove a point with tire smoke. I sat back down on the couch, looked around my quiet apartment, and realized something. I felt free, not happy, not victorious, just free. And then I played my final card. That night, I sent one last email to everyone, family, friends. The family friends who always defended my parents no matter what. The ones who said you should be grateful or you're the strong one. You can handle more. I attached the spreadsheet, the screenshots, the receipts. And I wrote, this is the truth. For years, I've paid for everything from phone bills to bailouts to vacations I wasn't even invited to. I've done it quietly without resentment because I thought that's what family meant. But apparently, family only matters when I'm writing checks. So this is me drawing the line. If you think that makes me the villain, so be it. But don't ever say I didn't try. Don't ever say I didn't give enough. Because I did and then some. The next 24 hours were chaos. Texts, calls, voicemails. Some were angry, said I was being petty, dramatic, airing dirty laundry. Some were quiet. A few even said I didn't know it was that bad. Resent me another SpongeBob meme. Respect. Even Grandma called. She didn't yell. Just asked if I was okay. Said she'd never seen the family this divided. Told me she wished things were different. I didn't have much to say. Later that night, I got one final message from Dad. An email. Subject, inheritance. The body? You're out. We've changed the will. I didn't reply. Because I already knew. I'd known for months. Found out by accident when I overheard Kayla talking about how she's the only one listed now. I never said anything because I never cared. That money was always going to come with strings. And honestly, I'd rather struggle on my own than be owned by a guilt-ridden IOU. So where does that leave me? Well, Kayla's birthday trip is canceled. No one had the funds to fix the flights. No one trusts each other enough to front the cost. She posted some cryptic story about betrayal from unexpected places and cutting out toxic energy. Sure, Kayla. You do that. The family group chat turned into a full-blown war. People blaming each other. Some blaming Dad. Some blaming me. A few brave souls actually defended me, said it was about time someone said something. Mom came by one last time. She didn't ask me to pay. This time, she just stood in the doorway and cried. Said she didn't know what to do anymore. I said, you could start by apologizing. She didn't. She left. And I closed the door behind her. No slam this time. Just a quiet click. I haven't heard from most of them since. Kayla is still blocked. Dad hasn't called. Grandma sends me the occasional check-in text. That's it. And you know what? That's okay. Because for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm not the backup plan anymore. I'm not the one holding everything together while falling apart inside. I'm just me. If they want to make me the villain for setting boundaries, fine. I'll wear it. Happily. They chose their roles. Now I've chosen mine. Thanks for reading. And if you're someone with a family like mine, just know this, you don't have to keep being the one who holds it all up. Sometimes the only way to get peace is to burn the bridge they keep walking over. And I'm okay with that. For the first time in my life, I'm okay with that.